Welcome back. Well, if you dream of being your own boss, there's a few things to consider before taking the plunge. And Chala Dincoy, author of How to Win Friends the Way Apple Wins Customers, joins us this morning with 3 mistakes to avoid if you want to be successfully self-employed. Welcome, Chala.
Thank you.
It's great for you to be here. But a new study reveals that a whopping 45% of Canadians will be self-employed by 2020. Is that for real?
Crazy, I know. Arlene Dickinson would never be the way she is today. She'd still be working for someone had she not avoided the 3 mistakes we're going to talk about today to being self-employed. So 45% of Canadians are going to be self-employed in 2020. Most of them already are. And they're leaving their day jobs by the droves, which is what I did.
Yeah.
For 20 years, I worked for giant corporations like Pepsi, Pizza Hut, Frito Lay. And 5 years ago, I left because why most Canadians are leaving is to make more money and in order to have better work-life balance.
Yeah, is that the main reasons why people are taking the plunge? And what should you consider before taking the plunge is the big question. Yeah,
I mean, these are the mistakes that we're going to talk about. So I have a work for yourself formula. So W is for who are you going to help? So figure that out. Who are you going to help? O is for own a specialty, be an expert in something, be a specialist in something. R is resist going back to your day job. And K is keep on going, even though it's harder than you think, and even though it's taking longer than you thought, just keep on going.
I like the acronyms WORK, W-O-R-K. Okay,
That's
so
right,
there's a few common mistakes people make when they are self-employed. Start with bad timing.
Yeah, let me show you the bad timing. So the #1 mistake that people make is that they don't set a date. So I always like to bring my favorite calendar, which is the Toronto Firefighters calendar. So what you do is you pick a date and you actually set a date and you say, this is the date I'm going to leave by.
Okay.
Because otherwise you just never leave. So that's mistake #1.
That's a big step.
That's a huge, scary step. But again, it's just like if you don't set it, it's never going to happen.
Okay. So then #2, not knowing what you're going to sell.
Oh, yeah. And that's really, like, that stops people right off. So what you do is you take a mirror, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you say, okay, what is my skill set, background, education, passion? But then people forget the other part, which is you turn this around and you look at the market. And what does the market want? What is it that they're bleeding for and asking for that they're willing to pay you for? And so it's like a marriage of what is in you and what is it that they want. The intersection.
Yes, so knowing your target audience, knowing the market, knowing if there's any interest in whatever you're planning on selling or whatever service you're providing.
That's right.
Okay, and #3, not saving enough money, which is probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, I brought this little toonie here, so
is there chocolate underneath? Because I want that chocolate.
It is chocolate, actually, and actually I take this to the U.S. a lot because they're like, what is that?
What is that?
Yeah, exactly. It's a toonie. Well, you have to save 3 to 6 months of living expenses because, you know, God bless you if you're already making sales while, you know, first day out of the gate. But most of the time that doesn't happen. And if you don't save enough, A, you're never going to leave. And B, you're going to be like me. When I left 5 years ago, you're going to have nightmares every night where you're like waking up your husband and saying, you know, it's 2 in the morning. I can't sleep. I'm having nightmares for 2 months. But, you know, just persist through that and it'll help you if you save up.
Okay, 3 to 6 months. And a lot of people that start off, they don't pay themselves. They don't give themselves their own salary,
That's right, yeah. So that's all going to help. And if you figure out all of the who, the what, what's the pain point, and then your messaging, which is what my company does, is I help other companies figure out their positioning so that they can sell more. Because it's all about the message.
Great advice. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
You're welcome.
There you go. Check out her book, too. Thank you very much, Charlotte. To watch this segment again, you can check out her website, ctvmorninglive.ca.